can hear people like shaking and trembling.
Like fidgeting.
Yeah. And all it does is just piss me off. It pisses me off.
Like no one hears it, but you do because you know the podcast is there,
Yeah.
right? Like you're like, ah.
So does my shutter on the camera annoy you?
Not that much, cause it brings action to the podcast. You know, it gives it more life.
Yeah.
Like there's some natural noises that give it more life, but then there's some noises that bothers me. We're live now too, I didn't tell you guys.
Okay.
Oh, we're like, okay.
Yeah, I had a podcast with my nieces, and I'm so nice to my nieces, I really am.
Yeah.
But they were kicking and they were moving around, and I lost it. That was the first time I ever got mad at them.
Yeah.
I said, we're not doing a podcast anymore. They were so
You
sad.
just stopped. Like,
Yeah. I was like, this is your last chance. If you guys keep moving and kicking, we're not doing the podcast. And they were so
How old are they?
8 and 10.
What were you trying to do a podcast with? What do you expect?
Yeah.
That's true.
But now they loved it. I think we did like 3 episodes, 2, 3. I haven't posted them yet, but it's like 2, 3 episodes.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So, were you sheltered?
No, it's not sheltered.
You were not sheltered, so why did you just start drinking?
It's just, I don't know, it's just something,
You've never done.
yeah, it just never caught my attention. I guess 'cause my friends, I would see them drink and then they'll get like,
Super wasted.
yes.
And you're
and
like, I don't want to be like
scared.
that.
Yeah, I hated seeing them like throw up, you know, like, I was like, oh, I don't want to look like that. I was glad I was able to help them out and like I really trusted me that way. But yeah, I was always so scared, and now that, yeah,
It's like my wife, she never drank and then she started drinking. And then she would be, and my wife was born in the U.S., but she has a very thick accent.
Yeah.
Right, but, so I don't know, we don't know where she got her accent from to this day. And she'd drink, and she started drinking, and she'd be like, I'm not drunk, I'm dizzy. I'm just dizzy. It's like, that's it, you're drunk.
That accent comes out. That's
pretty funny.
So with alcohol, there's times where, you know, being in sports, you kind of have like that point where like you can stay sober and clean. And when you look at other people, when you're behind the lines of drinking, you realize how funny it is when you just laugh at people.
Yeah.
Then you're like, fuck, I wonder how bad I was. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know I was terrible. I was really bad, especially at UTEP. Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah.
Cincinnati Street, right?
Not even, dude. So I was there in 07, 08, right? And people from El Paso might remember this, but there was a Dirty Derby. Did you ever hear about Dirty Derby?
Dirty Derby. I want to say a little bit.
It's
yes.
Juarez. So we would literally just drive to downtown El Paso, and then you walk across the bridge, and as soon as you walk across the bridge, there's a club. You pay $12, drink and drown. Like $12, you get fucked up, and then you come back, and it was every Thursday. And this is the reason why I changed my engineering major, because I had math class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. And it was every Thursday at Dirty Derby. I kid you not, I had academic probation after that semester. I had a 1.4 GPA.
Oh. Would you ever go to Kentucky? Or that wasn't around?
No, I don't think that was around. We had like Club 101, and then Cincy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in Cincy, back in the day I was underage, and then I ended up getting a Mexican roommate from Torreon.
Torreon?
Yeah. Oh really? Well, he was Gomez Palacio.
Gomez Palacio,
Yeah.
Lerdo right there.
Yeah. So from Gomez Palacio, and he came in to do like English for the summer. Tenía su credencia de lector.
Sí.
And so I would get in with that everywhere I went, and I was 19, and just like going to clubs, partying, and I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I was bad.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, see, you can party and become a doctor. See.
I think it's when you get out of that shelter of everyone's good, right? From your chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just edited something so it could be a little more smoother. I apologize. But I think it's once you leave like your parents' home, that shelter, you let that dog out of the cage, you know, it's like, that was gonna break loose.
I mean, I was a freaking nerd growing up. I was sheltered. Like, I didn't drink in high school. And so when I got to college, I don't know, the cat's out of the bag, man. I was going crazy. And my mom was like, ¿Qué te pasó, mijo? It was bad. It was really bad.
That's funny. I just started subbing, and I saw this whole week at Antonian, and I told my friend's like, do they know you were on World Star? And they're like, do they know half of this shit you did? And I'm just laughing, I'm like, fuck, like, how am I a sub, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, if I were to become a teacher one day, like, how am I gonna be a teacher, you know, knowing half of this shit I've done?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all do things we regret, and then we learn from it.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you done?
I have not done anything so exciting just because, I don't know, it's just always been that quiet, innocent person, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much.
To it?
Yeah.
Do you think you sheltered yourself?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think it, because my family, okay, so my mom's a Christian, so she was sometimes here, they're strict when they were growing up at first. And then she's like, okay, you guys can do pretty much
Whatever you
whatever you
want.
want. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to, you know, like follow God, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm the middle child too, that kind of says something, because I have an older brother who's very overprotective. My parents are divorced, so my brother kind of basically took the role of our father in a way, like he was always taking care of us, he was very overprotective.
Yeah.
So we always look up to my brother, and if my brother says no, it's a no. So if my mom says yes, my brother says no, we're more scared of my brother than my mom, so
Yeah.
we're like, oh, okay, my brother said no, I was like, he's your brother, I'm your mother, okay. So then once we moved to San Antonio, I still did the same thing, I was still a good child, you know, I was just going to church, school, and work, that's all, like my new college friends would invite me, I was like, oh no, gotta do homework, go to church. You know, I was just until recently.
COVID did it for you probably, and now you're like, I gotta get up.
Yes, and then I went through a terrible breakup where I'm like, you know what, forget it. I felt like I was used, so I was just like, I'm gonna do something that I want to do. Because I always put everyone before me. So I was like, you know what, no, it's time to put myself first. So I started like drinking. You know what, I'm just gonna try it out. I just want to be adventurous in a way. So I just did this small thing. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, you know?
Yeah. You kind of let loose, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, definitely don't drink to get drunk now, where I think like back when we were 18, I just like, I wanna get hammered.
Once you start, there's no
You're
going
not
back.
stopping. Yeah, I think I pooped all over Mesa at UTEP for the longest time.
Sounds like my brother. Sounds like my brother.
But you know, I think something you have to grow to be, and you have to be more selfish,
Yeah.
right? Like as an
So
individual, I think we're very giving. I think everybody's very giving, but then there's people that are too selfish to a fault, right? But I think we need to be selfish in the way that we need to look after ourselves and like what we want in life, right? So, you know, that's you, right? You need to be selfish. You need to be that person like, hey, this is what I want, and you're not part of the picture. Like in that case of a breakup, I don't know, whatever it was, but it's just kind of saying like, hey, I want to do this for myself, and I want to grow, whether it be photography, whether it be getting a drink, whatever it is, it's still going to make you grow one way or another, right? Even if you make a mistake, you're still growing, right? So I think being selfish is fine, and you have all the time in the world to be selfish, and you should do it.
And I would like, I think about it, and I'd rather say like, oops, instead of like, oh, I should have done this, you know, like, I'd rather say like, oh, at least I tried, but it wasn't my thing, but that's okay, because at least I know, like, I tested the waters here, so let me test them over here.
Mejor pedir perdón que permiso.
Look at me, sorry.
I think with life is an experience, and with this experience, you have to experiment.
Yeah.
You have to experiment and take risks. With risk, there comes mistakes, but I think that's all part of the process. And if you learn, you grow. If you
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
learn, just keep going into a cycle where you're not gonna get out of it, and you're gonna be stuck.
Yeah, I think that's something that you just have to, even if you make mistakes, just learn from it. No matter what it is, you learn from it, you become stronger, you become better. And yeah, it may be a step back, but it pushes you forward that much more.
Yeah.
Right. Like whatever it is that you do.
And you begin to learn your limits and your boundaries.
And you know what you can take, you know what you can't. And then, you know, whatever your focus is, you just don't quit. Right? Like we talked about earlier, show up every day. Something that motivated me back in high school, and I think that's what's driven me to be where I am, kind of going off of that topic a little bit, it's, I remember trying out for basketball and not making the team, and then my basketball coach was like,
It's okay, it's okay.
and I remember he's like, oh, keep showing up to practice and you might make the team. And it got to the point where I was showing up, and I was like, man, I'm tired, waking up at 5 a.m. to go to practice. And I go to him and I was like, hey coach, I think I'm gonna quit. He's like, hey man, you quit now, you're a quitter your whole life. You know, he said that to me. And ever since then, man, you know, I showed up the next day to practice, and I kept going to make the team, blah, blah, blah. But I've taken that to heart to this day, right? And like any experience, right? Like you just don't quit. You just keep going, whatever it is, you keep doing whatever you want to do, and you keep pushing forward.
It's funny how those messages, even when in high school, they stick to you.
Yeah. Yeah, even my and I go back to my coach and tell him, he's like, I don't remember I ever said that. I was like, man, it like stuck to me forever. Like,
My coach, because I'm always on time for work. Like I always work at 6 in the morning. I can sleep at 3, 4 in the morning. I wake up at 5. Like if I had an hour's sleep, I'll be
you're
there.
gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there 8 minutes before my shift all the time. If I'm 5 minutes or 2 minutes like before my shift, I consider myself late.
Yeah.
But because my coach, they will always tell us like, hey, if you're early, that means you're on time. To be on time is to be late. And to be late is to be replaced. Yeah, so like, oh, what am I late? So that's almost like early. It's like, early.
Isn't that a quote from like Drumline? You remember the movie with Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like one of his only good movies.
yeah, if you're early, you're on time. If you're late, if you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't even bother showing up.
Yeah.
That's what they would say.
To be replaced or something.
But I don't agree with the last one. I think it's better late than never.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's better late than never.
Mhm.
Because at least for some small reason, you at least try.
Yeah, yeah. I also though think there's people that don't respect other people's time, and then like if I have you at a certain time, like, and you make me wait 30 minutes before you tell me you're not gonna come in, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
You know, like that's another thing, right? And if you're gonna show up, and then you expect a full hour of treatment, me as a physical therapist, like, sorry, I got someone in 30 minutes. This is what you get, and then you know, like you pay for that time. You know, I don't know. Time. I think time is very important. You know.
Yes.
It's our most valuable possession. You can't give it back, for sure. You hit it pretty good. Respect your time.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest pet peeve is when people don't respect other people's time.
Exactly. With my photography, when I first started, again, I didn't know much. I was just like, it's my hobby. I love doing it, and I want to help people. But I did see people taking advantage of it because they'll be like, okay, they booked a 30-minute session, but they're here 30 minutes late. Or I could have had another person, you know.
For those 30 minutes, you can make a little bit more money.
So then people would tell me just charge, like they have to have a deposit fee and it's not refundable. So like, okay, I put that on my package.
But then you don't enforce it.
No, I do like, hey, you're $25, you have to pay it up. And I tell them you have to be there. You have 15 minutes of, you know, mercy breaks, whatever you want to call it. And people have been taking me more serious than when I wouldn't charge that $25. I was like, dang, I guess time is money. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna start charging.
Time is money. Yeah.
So yeah, but the first few people that would take advantage, I'd be like, dang, it kind of hurts me, you know, like.
Yeah, because they see you as a nice person, right? And they think like, oh, she doesn't mind, but at the same time, it's like they're not respecting your time,
Yeah.
right?
So I feel used too.
And like you said, you could have been doing something else with that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like one time, twice, the same guy said he was gonna come in for physical therapy, and like I was waiting for like 15 minutes. Like, oh my bad, bro, I got stuck at the barber.
Stuck
Like you had this planned. We talked about it. He's like, I'll see you next week. We planned it, and then text him, nothing. Text him, nothing. Text him, nothing. Are you coming? Man, that time I didn't even wait because the other time I waited 30 minutes. This time I waited 15 minutes. Bye. Boom. Yeah. And after that, never tried to get him back.
I think the thing I struggle with is I take advantage of time, if that makes sense. Where I want to do as much as I can, and because of that, there's times where I end up showing up late, you know? So, for instance, let's say I would meet up with you in an hour,
Yeah.
and I knew I had an hour left, and the drive was like 10 minutes. I'm gonna do this, do all this.
So you're on the dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then eventually, sometimes life doesn't go as you planned, and you lose track and
Yeah.
you show up late.
I think the thing with that is when people show up and their excuse is like traffic, you know, and then you kind of coordinate, like you assume there's always traffic, you know, like that. I mean, to me, and I'm an early person. Like I'm that person. We can't go to the movies right now, which is really sad, but I show up like early so I can see the damn previews and watch the movie. You know, that's who I am. So like for my wife, that's late everywhere. If our movie is at 8:30, it's always at 8:10. It's at 8:10.
Gotta get your popcorn.
And then she's like, oh, and then like, why aren't you in a rush, Edwin? I was like, because we're on time.
Very smart. That's a good way to do it. Man, speaking of the movies, I haven't gone to the movies in, what year are we in, 2021?
Mm-hmm.
4 years. The last movie I saw was in 2018.
Really?
Yeah, 3 years. It was Dean of Thieves, and it was the worst movie I ever saw in my life. That was the first time I walked out
Yeah,
of
of
a
a movie.
theater.
I never walked out of it.
You've never watched? I've seen some terrible movies, but I've never walked out. Maybe once. I don't know. Speaking of movies, do y'all know about the stock market right now? AMC and
Yeah.
GameStop and everything.
Oh, games, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
well, I bought some AMC stock, and they're fucking me right now.
It's going down now?
It's all going down. I was like, fuck, I bought it the wrong time.
Out of the wrong time.
Yeah.
I
So-
think it's fucked up how they cut off Robinhood and all these other
Yeah,
apps.
they limited our trading, right? Because we had like upward momentum to just buy, and like run a stock up, and they just limited our trading. It's okay for the rich people to do it, but when we try to do it, we can't. It's stupid.
And it just goes to show that money talks.
Mm-hmm.
Money talks in this country.
Yeah, it's terrible. We have a stock group, and we call it Stock Slobs. It's literally everybody I went to college with. We're like fraternity brothers, and then we follow stocks. Like, hey, we're investing in this one. We're gonna talk about this one, and we just talk stocks. And I had been out of stock game for a while, and I jumped into marijuana because it's obviously getting big right now because
Yeah.
of who won the election and everything. And I'm thinking, okay, like marijuana's gonna be the game. And then I just turned that money in and put it on AMC thinking it was gonna go up, and then I got fucked. It's okay, we live and we learn.
We live and we learn.
Mhm.
Exactly. One mistake I did was I bought a stock like with AMC. It wasn't AMC, but I bought a stock when it was already going high,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, it's only gonna go higher.
yeah,
Then it dropped.
yeah, that's not how it works. You buy when it's red, not when it's green.
Yeah, exactly. You buy it when it's red, when it's at its lowest point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but fucking stocks. I wasn't very into stocks literally until this year,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a point where I was just stuck to my phone, and I was like,
Oh my
I feel
God.
like a money fiend.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way, like, it's because of COVID, because there's nothing to do, especially, like, when sports were canceled, like, there was more people our age doing stocks, because you can't go anywhere, you can't gamble, where's your money gonna go? So you put it in stocks, and you're, like, moving money everywhere, trading, and then what was big for all of us as a generation is Robinhood, right? I did TD Ameritrade, but then Robinhood came across and became, like, the platform for our generation, and now they're the ones effing everybody. Right? Because they're not for the trader, they're just selling your information on what you're buying to the bigger hedge funds.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So they can move their money and manipulate the game.
Exactly.
Have you guys invested in? Well, do you invest in any?
I
No.
You don't?
don't.
Do you have a 401k? Are you investing? Long-term wealth?
Oh yeah, at work.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you're kind of investing in the market, right? Yeah, because 401k goes with the market, but you're probably, knowing you're probably a little bit more conservative, right? In the way you're investing, right?
Conservative in life? Hey, but
Hey.
respect it.
Yeah.
You gotta respect
She's
it.
on the blue chip stocks probably. She just doesn't know it.
What do you guys think about cryptocurrency?
I don't think it's going anywhere.
No.
Like I think the value of it's going up. Like what are you gonna use it for? I mean, you can't really buy much with anything. The value of it's going up, but people can't really cash out.
You can.
So people do cash out, but people have also lost a lot of money to it as far as their money gets hacked and then it gets taken away from them. Their virtual wallet is gone. There's different instances where you hear people just losing their money out of nowhere, and then people that lose their passwords and then they can't get back in. So I mean, you can cash out, But I don't know. Like, what are you gonna use Bitcoin for? I don't know.
I just find it interesting how we just evolved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and crypto, I haven't invested anything in crypto, but all I've heard is crypto.
Yeah, crypto.
Like all these podcasts that I hear, this past weekend, last week,
Dogecoin.
yeah,
Yeah.
all it's been talking about is crypto, and how it's gonna take over the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna. I mean, sure at some point it'll be a currency. I'm saying I want to invest in something that's better than I invested in AMC. I'm an idiot, so I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I'm just gonna invest in myself, That's all.
You know what? That's what kind of I'm in a mastermind group, which is a business group, and they talk about at the end of the day, like, invest in yourself, right? Like, if you take your money, you invest in yourself. You make money, you put it back into yourself. Yeah, the market may cash you out 8% a year, but then you can cash yourself out more than that a year if you invest in yourself. And it's true. Like, so I kind of took that method, and that's when I took all my money out of the market. But then I just put it in the past 2 weeks, and then it's gone, which is why I was out. I don't know.
With this life we live, do you think? Well, there's this book that I read. It's called "Let Your Life Speak."
Mm-hmm.
"Let Your Life Speak" by Parker Palmer, and it took me to a place where there's like two different types of world. You have like the material world and the spiritual world. And talk about it with posture. There's good posture and bad posture, but how do you balance both?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I've been having a dilemma with, is trying to balance the material world and the spiritual world,
Mhm.
because there's good stuff in the material and there's good stuff in the spiritual. What's the purpose of life? Who am I to say material is wrong or right?
Mm-hmm.
And trying to find a balance.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've come to realization is, in the material world, we focus more on what other people think. We focus on the external, when the spiritual world focuses more on the internal.
Internal, yeah.
Yeah. So it's two very different things. What's your guys' take on it?
I see it, and part of me is trying to be always more spiritual and more like simple living, but then another part of me wants like the best truck, the best house, right? Like part of me is like, I want people to know I'm successful, and then another part is like me. I want to be like the old raggedy ass man that's walking around and has like bucos of money and you don't even know it. So, but I think there has to be, I don't know, man, like sometimes, like one of the biggest things that I always said I wanted, right, and materialistic, I want a damn Ford Raptor.
I respect that, 100%. That's what I want too, man.
Like that's something I said, I want this is what I want. And for the longest time, I was saving for a Raptor, and I was like, I'm gonna put a good down payment, I'm gonna have it. And then when it came down to it, and then I had a BMW 3 Series, which was cheap when I bought it. It was used. I never buy anything new.
Smart.
Right? Never buy anything new. I buy stuff used. And I said, I just need something functional. That's all I need. I don't need a Raptor. So I was about to go, and then I ended up getting a little GMC Canyon Denali. Like, it was a small truck, functional. If I need to go pick something up, put a couch in it, I take it, and I go. And I didn't need a Raptor. And to me it's like, man, it's like making the smart choice. And then my truck saves gas, and I can do whatever I want with it. Like, there's no need to look the part, and I went with it, and I got it. But then I also looked at it as an investment. I was like, I pay this off, this is an investment vehicle, maybe I'll get my Raptor later. But right now, what's more important is getting my business going.
Yeah.
So it's all about like making those
Drinking
smart
the
decisions.
Kool-Aid.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
What about you?
What was the question again?
With the material world and the spiritual world.
Balancing.
Balancing.
What's something materialistic that you've always wanted?
Right now I've been looking into this nice. I just want a white car with a red interior. Did I say that right?
Mhm.
Interior? Okay. That's all I want right now.
Like a BMW? Like a Mercedes?
I was looking into those Lexus, the
Ooh.
350.
Oh, nice cars.
Yes, and I saw one and I said, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna good savings, I'm just gonna use it. And I was like, you know what? Because I was saving up for like my wedding that I was gonna have. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use that money that I saved up to get
Treat
my car.
yourself.
Yeah, treat myself.
Treat yourself.
But then I wanna invest in my photography. So I was like, I need to go buy a new laptop. I need to buy a new lens.
Mm-hmm.
And the lens that I want is like almost $2,000.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that too. It's like, no, but I really want a car right now. But it's like, so it's just those two material things that I want.
You know, in my experience with doing that, I've come to a point where I'm making a better living investing in my business. And I could probably go get a Raptor right now, but I just choose not to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just something like, I don't need it. I have a truck that does whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I think if you just take that money and invest it in yourself, invest it in your business, you make your business grow, you charge what you're worth,
Yes.
right? And then you grow that, and then you can go get your Lexus later.
See, that's what I was thinking too, but I feel like I can do both. I just
Because we want to be in a world of instant gratification,
Mhm.
right? We want to be in the world where I want that, and I want it now,
Yeah.
right? Like, instant gratification is like something that's there, but in reality, it's more about delayed gratification,
Yep.
right? So, and that's the business I'm in as a physical therapist. Like, I can tell you, I can make you better, I can make you feel better, but it's gonna take time, right? And people don't want to commit to that because they want that quick injection, that quick surgery that's gonna make them better, but in reality, it doesn't sometimes. And that's a car. A car is instant gratification, right? You can't afford it, right? But you put the money down and it's in your hands, and you're like, fuck yeah. But then like 6 months down the road, you're like, that's whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
So
So,
you recommend me to invest in my business first.
I mean, I recommend you do whatever makes you happy.
Both of them make me happy though.
Yeah.
I feel like they both. make
So
me
you want to look at long-term wealth then too, right? A car is a depreciated asset. A business is an appreciated asset,
Mhm.
right? So, right, you could probably have your Lexus, but maybe you get a 2016 and with low miles, and you still have the car you want.
Yeah.
You know, when we went shopping for a car for my wife, we got her a BMW X1. We definitely bought it used. You know, it had low miles, and she had the car that she's always wanted. Maybe it wasn't the newest one, but she drove it like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they wrecked it. We got her a Lexus. But again,
Does she have a-
oh yeah, she loves it. We got the SUV. It's an SUV, like the small SUV one,
Mhm.
like an X200. They're like the 300 now.
Yeah.
The reason why we got that is because when she was in a wreck, the Tundra didn't see her in her BMW, and then just T-boned her. So I wanted her just a little bit higher so that she could have something more that's more seeable or more viewable or whatever.
Absolutely.
So we went with that.
And durable too.
Yeah, and durable, because it'll maintain its value. Lexus is going to maintain its value. BMW is going to drive down the value like crazy. So we went with Lexus. But when we haven't bought anything new. And my advice is you could probably have both, but invest in an older vehicle that is it's still going to maintain its value. It's already depreciated, and you're going to get into your business.
Delayed gratification.
How about you? What do you want? What to?
Jet skis, man.
Jet skis.
I want to go to the lake. Jet skis.
Jet
Invite the family. Have a carne asada.
How much are jet skis?
I don't know.
You don't know? You want a jet ski? You don't know how much it is?
I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. You know, that's not my concern. Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. If I wanted to, I could take out a loan. Hey, give me a jet ski. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but for what? So that's one thing that I've been focusing on too is delayed gratification. I think you know, people when they go to the gym they expect to have abs in a week
Yeah,
and then they stop working out. Well,
not gonna happen.
not gonna happen. You know, you have to keep watering your seed. A lot of things take patience, and I think it also comes too with the spiritual world where you learn to accept patience because you have to be patient.
Yeah.
I think in the media we're exposed a lot to these people becoming rich real quick.
Which is why I bought AMC. Wanted to be rich, wanted instant gratification. I should have known. It's true, right? Like
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we're gonna get rich quick. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
You have to work for it.
Yeah, you have to work for it. I don't think, personally, I think social media is, unless, if you know how to balance it, you know, you're good. Obviously, you guys are both entrepreneurs, you guys use it for business.
Yeah.
And I use it for my podcast too, but then there's times where sometimes we indulge and then
Oh yeah.
we get exposed to a life that we could have and it makes us want to have more.
Yeah, it makes us want to have that that picture on that beach in Fiji, right? Like, oh my God, I want to be right there, right now, and then you just want that life.
Why am I here?
Yeah, why am I here? Damn it, in the basement.
Oh, by the way, I'm Nikira.
Oh yeah, this is Nikira. We forced her to be on this podcast.
They did.
Yeah, she said, I'm not gonna do it, and then she said, I'll have a rum and coke.
Which she already downed.
I got nervous and I just
I'm a little happy now.
¿Quieres otro o qué?
Maybe later.
Maybe later. I respect that. That's funny. But yeah, social media. Personally, I think if I had a girlfriend, I'd probably delete it. Well, no, because I have it for business. But I guess, or maybe getting married, you know, I'd like, I tell her like, you can use my social media, but please don't have one, you know. Just never know.
Yeah, my wife always gets like all weird. Like, I'm always posting and you never post about it. I'm not a poster, and then like I'll go to Vegas with the guys and I just post a picture of us in Vegas, or not recently, and then she's like, oh, but you post with your friends.
I like the accent too.
That probably make her sound like a witch, but she doesn't.
But yeah, social media stirs up a lot of shit, man.
It does. And then we live a fake life through it, right?
A life we want to be.
A life we want, and we don't have like. How many people do you think portray their happiness on social media? In reality, they're like the saddest person, most upset person, but yet they're the happiest on social media. And then you see these people, and then they're the first people to commit suicide, sadly, right? Because you're hiding behind a facade, right? Like of who they want to believe they are, but they're someone else.
Yeah. It's literally its own world, social media.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how powerful it's become. But it's just another thing you can utilize. I don't know.
Are you a big poster?
Well, just because I just have my photography. That's my only one I have. And I have Snapchat, but those are just close friends. I just
Yeah.
whatever. But no, and even before, like even I took off my Facebook about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
And I haven't even had, like once I took it off,
You didn't miss it?
I didn't miss it. I was like, oh,
Facebook is for old people, though.
Is it?
That's what kids tell me all the time. It's like, you use Facebook? It's for old people. I was like, wow. Because I get youth athletes. Like I get little girls are like in high school. They either play volleyball or they're rodeo athletes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then they're like, they teach me how to use stuff in my phone I didn't know, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, you're on Facebook? Who uses it Facebook? Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it Instagram?
It's Instagram, yeah.
Oh, and Twitter too, right? I think they use Twitter too.
Well, Twitter's still like older people, right? Like Twitter is more
Yeah.
like recent news, like hot topics, stuff.
Yeah, okay. I just have Instagram and Snapchat, that's all I have. But my Instagram is just my photos that I take for my photography. That's where I advertise myself. Just there.
I think I still have MySpace. I don't know. I gotta check.
MySpace?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Did you guys
Yeah.
ever hear about that Moco space? Like a lot.
What? No.
You guys never heard of it?
No.
It's kind of like a MySpace, but it's called Moco space.
You remember how whenever you would have MySpace and you have like your top 10 friends,
Yeah.
and like you would move, like you'd have your girlfriend on number 1, and then you'd break up and then you'd take them off, and like, oh, what happened? People would ask you, what happened? Why isn't she your number 1? So we broke up. And, or like you'd be questioning like, oh, this guy's a cool friend, and this guy too, and you're like, we flip on 2 and 3, and you're like, oh, I moved up to number 2. Like,
Have you guys ever Googled yourself and seen like your MySpace picture? 'Cause
Yes.
That's what I do.
what? Really?
If you Google me.
So I tried Googling myself once. It wasn't pleasant.
Oh.
No, because there's a porn star called Edwin Serrano.
That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool, man.
So I was like, okay, let's go. Yeah.
People are gonna think you're a porn star on my podcast now.
He's not.
Actually, now though, you can Google me and I'll pop up. But before I had like a business profile and all these things with my name on it, it was definitely a porn star popping up every time.
Hey, fucking good shit. So I guess one last thing before we close this out. What do you guys think about Valentine's Day? It's coming up.
I have never, as a girl, I know a lot of girls like it, but me personally, I never really saw. I just feel people make it as a competition, not that much as a like showing love. Like I get it. Some people are like, oh yeah, Valentine's Day. I got married on this day. Okay, I respect that you got married that day. But for the other couples, like boyfriend and girlfriends, it's just like, dude, you can show your girlfriend or your boyfriend love some other time. Like not just
Valentine's Day. Like it's the whole. I was gonna say, don't be cliche. You want love every time, but I mean, I get it. Like, show me love every day, not just the one day out of the year, right?
Exactly.
But then at the same time, it's a day of representing where you can go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you can go back and forth on it. I think my wife always expects something over the top, and I always disappoint. So I'm gonna.
Don't expect anything.
Yeah.
Don't assume. Don't assume.
Don't assume. So I like Valentine's Day. I used to love it as far as like getting teddy bears and like all this stuff when we were younger. But now it's like, now I think the conservative side of me is like, I don't want to spend money. Like, you know,
These damn capitalists.
Yeah.
I used
Corporations.
to go to school when you were in kindergarten to make your own like box and people would come take
And then put the donuts.
yeah,
in mine.
those were the days.
That's so funny.
Like I don't mind it. It's just it's not like something like it's not my thing.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
It's evolved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, definitely in high school. You know, because you see your high school friends with Valentine's. Like, I want a
Yeah.
Valentine's. You know, so never had one. So I just give my mom something for Valentine's.
Mm-hmm.
And then in college, I guess you could care less because you have so much things to worry about. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, it's I guess once you, I guess have a girlfriend, you maybe appreciate it more. So. I mean, for me, it's just the way I see it, and it's kind of negative. It's these damn capitalist corporate companies, you know, getting all this money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I'm single, so I guess until I'm in those shoes, you know, I'll never know. And also, you know, the females too, they may like it, or you know, they also want to feel appreciated extra. So I guess until I'm in those shoes, I won't know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another day in the year. I agree. I think that we should be able to show. I think we should be able to show love throughout the year, not just a one day. But then I also think that it's the one day to go over the top.
Yeah, I think I just do it to my friends. I'll be like, hey, it's Valentine's Day. I love you. Here you go. Just a cookie.
Here's Alexis.
You want me to take a picture of you? And then you usually give people extra needles. Yeah.
Here's another one. Needle in your calf, needle in your toe.
But I do love February the 15th, where everything goes on sale. Like
And you go. What's your favorite candy?
Just the ones that have they might be gross for a lot of people, but the orange filling, pink filling, you know, like the $1 ones.
Sounds disgusting. If
Yeah,
you
it sounds disgusting. I don't even know what it is, but it already sounds disgusting.
A lot of people hate those, but I love them.
You have
I don't know
to.
why.
That has to be the picture of the title of this podcast, like that candy, whatever it is she's talking about. That's gonna be the cover on the podcast episode.
If we can find it.
I like the Reese's. I just love the Reese's cups.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Oh my god, I'm just like, I don't eat a lot of candy, but my friend desk receptionist where I used to work, she would always get it, and she's like, I know you love Reese's. Like, damn it, and I'll be like.
Reese's pretty good.
Yeah.
I love almond joy though.
Oh,
Yeah, I indulge in almond joy. I gotta stop.
Oh wait, those are the ones with the coconut, right?
Mhm.
Oh, I don't like those.
No one likes those. I swear no one likes
I
those.
just don't like the coconut shavings. I just think the texture.
I love coconut on other things.
Yeah, I like
Alcohol.
the flavor.
No, I love German chocolate cake.
Oh,
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, you don't like it? It's the texture.
The texture, yeah.
I love it. It's like,
My brother, he actually got, I don't mean to put him on the spot, he got married on Valentine's Day, and now he's divorced.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and when he got married on Valentine's, I was like, damn, this is probably like the coolest day to ever get married.
you only have to celebrate it once.
Yeah.
You forget your anniversary, but then you remember Valentine's Day. Just kidding.
Yeah. And then, because it's that special day, you know, people were at that wedding celebrating, you know, the wedding with them, so I was like, this is like probably the coolest time to get married, and then, you know, 10 years later, divorce. I was like, oh,
Ouch.
sorry, brother.
Yeah. I mean, divorce is rampant, right? I think, I mean, he's your older brother. I think with marriage and divorce, which is why we took such a long time to get married, there's an expectation, right, from our parents. tienes que estar casado, ya cásate. But in reality, like, we're different now, right? We know, we choose, we don't wanna just make a life with anybody, and like, that's, I think, something different in our generation, whereas I feel like our parents, even if the first person they saw, it's like get married early, young, and then they have us, you know, and I feel like it's evolved and changed, right, from like their perspective, like their generation to us, you know?
And you see older parents and it looks like they get tired of each other.
Yeah.
But they won't leave because of
La
religion.
costumbre.
El costumbre.
Yeah, being used to each other, right? And they're always bickering at each other, but they're still there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we rush into love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we just need to take our time with it and really realize what we want and then go for it.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
That's true.
Alright, well, thank you guys so much for doing the after hours. It was successful,
Yeah.
very successful. Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you, Nikita, for
This-
jumping on.
this
I'm
wouldn't
glad we
happen.
convinced you.
Yeah? It wouldn't happen if it weren't for you.
What?
You and your nasty chocolate liking.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I don't know what that is.
They're just $1 ones.
Yeah.
But they're 50 cents
No.
the next day.
50 cents on the next day.
They're gross.
50 cents, 500 calories.
That's funny.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It was a great time with you guys. I think this was the most soberest I've ever done an after hours podcast. But it was a great time.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good job, Nikita.
Ah.